Okay, let's see here. So I'm gonna do some practicing, right? On a simulation on day trading with my paper trading account. Currently, I have was it 143,421. It was a swing trade in here. I just closed it out recently, but default it starts you off with 100,000. So you could say, somewhere somehow I got up to 43,000. I'm not writing it down or anything. I'm not like being precise about it, right? But um, I do want to do a little bit of that day trading scenario today. You know, Normally I do it, but I never record it, never document it. So, of course, the best one to use on a simulator, right, is going to be Dogecoin or crypto, any crypto really. I think Dogecoin is probably the best one. I also have Bitcoin down over here on my other computer screen. That way, it gives me a reference of what Bitcoin is doing while Dogecoin is moving. Right, they got it on the same track. They're finding resistance right about here. Let's see. Oh, no. Won't show the sideways action, but it's typically right here. Looks like it might trying to break out of this zone. The hourly, it's currently in this downtrend. You see all this negative cash flow, right? Over here, the algos suggest it to bottom out at this zone right here. You got movement to the upside. Now, I was working on this earlier. I was trying to get it to fit in with the chart was the minute chart way back, way back, it's way too far now. Trying to get the money flow waves in here. Um, let's see here, because this is the trend right here, and then like you could see the flow negative here, positive here, negative here, positive here, negative, positive, right? And this one's technically positive. There's a little bit of a pullback here, but overall it's in that upward slope. Could have done something like this to it, right? Oops, that's not the one. I was using that for something else. So here, right? At first you would have went here, then you would have extended it as soon as it turned green there, right? That way that would have been the trend on the hyperwave, and then this is the trend on the candlesticks, right? And it would have turned red there, which would have been a confirmation of a short position here, breaking that. You would have came over here, it would still have been biased to the upside. It doesn't really get that way until there's two different ways here. This is the long term one right here, and then this is the short term one right here, right? So I mean, it was biased to the negative side. You can see the blue, and I guess you call that beige, right? The histogram right here is negative, and it turns positive, right? But typically, what happens is that once you start seeing trickles of the red outweighing the green, within that certain time frame, it's making a change. It's adjusting to go the opposite direction, like how it was more or less positive over here, and that continuation is negative, right? And you would call this a selling opportunity right here. Then you would have tried this one and failed because most of the run was done. Then you can see how these over here, how these crossed right there, and that's projected and moved to the upside. Um, they're crossing upwardly. I mean, there's a lot of data here. So now I can't go back and find. I mean, I could, but I'm not going to. So I'm just going to remove that. Come back over here. So we'll get the projection one more time here. We'll say around this spot there. And if that was a topping area here and there, so that's the money flow, right? But it's extended out. Hmm. Try to get it to fit kind of in with these other ones. Try to align them in. Let's move over here. I'm in the way. Okay, so the bias is going to be to the downside, right? And this is the structure. I would say it ended here. So that was the top. Let's move it over here. That was the top. And then we'll say the structure probably started somewhere right there. It ended right there. And that would have been the down wave. And that would have been biased to the upside. But once it hits its peak, the down wave kind of stagnant, and it's biased to the upside now because both of these lines on this indicator are crossing positive territory. This would have gave you an early warning, as well as the overflow on negative. See how it wants to change, right? It's going this way, that way, and it looks like it's going to try to break out of this block or order block right here. So, and Bitcoin says Bitcoin says it's bottoming on the minute on its upward trend, and the long term one or the hourly, it's got a doji candle within that block order as well. But algorithms are forecasting it to the upside. It is in positive territory on the hourly when it comes to this indicator right here. Just how it is positive on this one. And it looks like this one here wants to roll over into positive territory. It's currently consolidating. It's hitting this resistance here. So you can see how the histogram is dropping below the wave line here. So that's the trend that it's still in a downward movement here. It could be also consolidating. Bitcoins has already consolidated. It's starting to actually tick up now on this like histogram right here. It's starting to push up. So it says this is going to be the bottom area. It wants to turn over and go down some more. We'll see if the waves pull up. Positive money flow coming here, but Bitcoin is starting to pump to the upside. There it goes. Yeah, this is the first time I'm using Bitcoin and Dogecoin simultaneously. In the past, I only had Dogecoin with three charts, which would be the 1 minute, the 15 minute, and then either the 30 minute or the hour. Um, when I'm in a simulator like this, so I like it. I'm gonna buy. I really don't want that much Dogecoin at one time, though. We'll let it ride. I'll decrease the unit size per purchase if I feel like it's not adequate. If it's not if it's too much or not enough for the simulator. I want it to be kind of realistic, right? I don't know. Is it 100,000? Selling at 10,000. Yeah, I mean, not really. I would probably have to cut that in half and say maybe I could purchase 50,000 Dogecoin at one time if I was really doing day trading, right? Try to keep it as much real closer to real, realistically as possible for me, anyways. There's a 200-day on the minute chart, right? 200-day minute average. So right here, this is the 200-day on the hourly, 200-day, 200 hourly moving average. So the algos are now pointing down. It's still in its bullish formation here. Um, I wish I had a bigger screen for my second screen. See, like you could have done this, or I'll just do this. Okay, so that's where we're at. We're gonna do a trend line on the hyperwave here. So that's like it's staying within this zone, right? You can do it for the day, the hourly too. Doesn't have a inflicting point. I mean, you could probably say right there. It's going to turn negative, then back to positive. It's going to be a little bit on the slanted side. Draw it out a little bit. That one, and we use the top half. Follow through right there. And that's pretty much the trend space that it has. Now, this momentum was positive right there, so let's try to change this around a little bit. Let's see here. It's a negative. So we'll call this, we'll stretch it out pretty good. Something like that. This is a negative. It's going to be the positive. Just kind of go back a little bit, see if it, yeah, see the money flow goes this way. And that way, down. And this is kind of like psychoanalysis, but I'm tweaking it with algorithms in my brain, right? So that's how it's working. That's what's being configured right now. So I'm trying to picture psychoanalysis, and I'm trying to picture the algorithm, and I'm trying to formulate a path, a trajectory, like spatial intelligence, right? Being able to see in your mind how things are going to, how the Rubik's cube is going to um, work, right? So there you go. It's positive. You got to double up here. See, that was a breach last time. I drew that in earlier today. Now, technically, it's trying to work its way to a positive area because being underneath here is negative momentum, even though it's positively structured. So once it breaks into the positive one, then the odds of a right there, that's where it normally meets resistance. But it looks like Bitcoin wants to break out of that. So I'm going to let it run. And if it's true, they do pretty much follow each other. If Bitcoin has a heavy grip on all the rest of the coins, this one should follow through, right? And we are the topping of this cycle algorithm phase that I just created. Because this is the downward slope right there. You can say the structure is still positive. This could be a beginning of a move outward. So if that is true, then I'm going to be looking for at the position zones. Whoa, did a big sell off. Yeah, it was done on both of them. It did hit the peak of the trend though. So right now the algorithms say this is like it's not really oversold or bought zones, right? But I put these here. This is pretty much when things get overextended zones, not overbought and oversold. Can't really call them overbought and oversold because this is not an indicator that describes anything about bought and sold zone. It's an algorithm scenario. So this would be an extreme of an extension, an extreme of a price move here and here, right? So, if I was paying attention more closely on this one, I would have locked in profits probably as soon as I seen the forecast suggesting it to be, moving down. But I think this is going to be an out of position buying opportunity. Um, once this wave, this I guess the quicker wave on this indicator right here moves down to at least below or almost to 50%. That would be a good time, I think. Otherwise than that, just let it ride. Oh, looks like it wants to break this trend right here. You know what? I'm gonna leave it though like that because this is all This is my simulated scenario, so this is a learning experience. Now, if it was my real money and I seen this happen right here, I would have locked in profits and just walked away from it. But since it's not, you know what? Let's find out what happens next. Man, it's always commercials on this thing. Holy, damn near a minute worth of commercials. What the hell is going on over here, YouTube? Damn. That's the. It had enough time to play three, going on four commercials. Son of a. Yep, fourth commercial. Had enough time to play four fucking commercials, man. That's crazy. I want to see this tick up right here and get to a higher bar. So let's see something. Let's do a horizontal line, right? And let's say right there. All right. And let's make this extremely wide. So this line right here is the line in the sand, right? With this histogram. Technically, each one of these bars right here, it's giving you the information, the data on the candlestick, on how much buying and selling is within that candlestick, but on a oscillator graph, subgraph, rather than on the main graph. I've had ones like this on the main graph, and it tells you the same information. I visually, this works better for me than that. This over here, I could have something else going on, like how I do now. So there's some selling. They're pointing up though. These are still pointing to the downside. And I guess you could say it broke this trend right here, right? Oops. Broke that. But if it turns up, because when we look at it, see the overflow positive is still there. So it could turn up. And then that would be it, right there where it's hitting this the outside or the bottom part of the trend right here. Yeah, now so the algos are pointing down. It's been pretty much like in this range here. So I can draw a trend on that one too. So here you could say here to there to there. Right. Well, we're gonna have to use a different color. Let's use, how about this one? Cool blue. Okay. And oops, that's not it. And, what the hell? Okay. They gave you a lot more options. It used to, as far as I can remember, it was never like that. So here, there. So that would be an inside trend on the inside of this, right? Looks like this one went and widened a little bit. Starting to roll, starting to shift upward. So it's not as biased as it was to the downside anymore. These are definitely. This is this yellow one is the 1 day moving average. It's pretty much the the candlesticks. So this one would be the candlesticks, and the other ones like the white one is a 10 day, the red one is a 21 day, and the blue one's a 40 day moving average. The like I said, the yellow one right there is the actual bar. It's a 1 day moving average, and then you got the 10. Well, I say day moving average. It's supposed to be on the daily chart. This is on the minute, so it'll be 1 minute moving average, 10 on the minute, and so on. Over here on the hour, and so on. Right. Now I can go to the instead of the minute, I can go to like the 30 second, 15 second, 10. Hold on, that was minutes. Okay, yeah, right here. I can go to the 1 tick, 10 tick, 100 tick, 1,000 tick, 1 second, 5 second, 10 second, 15 second, and 30 second chart. But I don't like doing that because it's just a little bit too quick. It's a little bit too fast. The hourly says it wants to pop up. Now, Bitcoin is moving to the upside. It's continuing its trend. It's trying to break. It's trying to break out of this zone right here. Of this zone right here. It wants to break out of that zone. And this is actually moving a little bit too slow. I didn't expect it to move this slow. We got 30 minutes in on this video. Really haven't seen no action going on. But it looks like it's going to fail. Yeah, see here. Everything's pointing down. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just exit that. And because, let's take a look at something though. Let's see here. The daily's on a downtrend. Hourly downtrend. 2 hour down, down, down. So the primary direction is down. Okay, so it starts off the 1 hour, and then it comes up on the 1 hour. Yeah, yeah. So the 1 hour is where the uptrend, the last line of defense is, and then we could probably do this one too. Daily down, 8 hour down, 4 hour 4 hours up on Bitcoin. So yeah, 4 hours the last line of support with the uptrend on Bitcoin. Everyone else is going up. So bias to the upside on any smaller time frames below the 4 hour. Uh, put it back to the 1 hour here. Okay. So yeah, this wave that I drew in is coming to the point where it's supposed to be going down anyway. And you can see the clustering up here. It's not going to break it. And if it follows the same, I can do that to this side too. Let's see here. Up, down, up, and then down. So let's start off back here. Right there. No, I'm going to have to make it sharp. I had it crisscrossed. Down, up. I need to pull this in a little bit. Maybe it should be wider. Consider that to be the bottom right there. And then this to be the top. That does not work. Bounced off the 200-minute moving average. And it is failing this line right here. I would say let's sell. I can't really get this worked out too well. If this is an inner fluctuation to the overall one, this chart is too small to really get any information out of. Yeah, let's go ahead and get rid of that. It's not going to help right now. Try the new Big Deal Chicken Sandwich at Slim Chickens. Hand-breaded chicken, layers, fresh pickles, and handmade fried pickles. With house-made filet meal, toasted brioche bun, only $5.99 for a limited time. Oh, wow, that's delicious. Supercharge your switch with new Listerine Clinical Solutions. I'm gonna have to find mute on this controller later. Damn it. All right, so yeah, that trend right there, I mean, that was a good idea, right? It followed through to the downside once it turned negative, right? It's got a 2 to the downside. Currently in that here. It looks like it's trying to break out, but you got the indicator showing strength with this red right here to the downside. And like I said, the main resistance was here. Oh shit! Bitcoin had a what do you call those? Liquidity grab. That's right. Bitcoin had a liquidity grab on the minute, and it had a liquidity grab to the negative side on the hourly, and it had a liquidity grab on the minute chart on the positive side. Now, I learned something, doing this quite a few times that the trend, regardless what the indicator is saying, you have to always be biased to the trend. This one right here, it works out better and it works out in my benefit to be biased in the overall direction. But I would have to see some type of move or some type of information that says that it's about to consider this area as support. And as of right now, nothing's showing that. Red, down, down, losing cash flow, right? Right here, losing it, going down, right? Nothing's saying, it's not saying it to flip to the long side. This overall down, this little trend um, wave algorithm, cycle analysis, cash flow, right? Suggesting it to go down. It's going down there. Negative cash flow indicators are pointing down. Histogram's negative. So, you go to Clover Health over here and not the 1 minute, but the 1 day, right? And see how it looks, you know, versus some of the same setup that I had going on over there to the other one, right? Well, this indicator is pointing down, suggesting a rollover. This wave I put in here is suggesting no confirmation yet. Histogram still positive. Money flow still positive. You got positive, positive, and over here, positive. Even though it's a little bit, but it's still positive. That's what counts, right? It's got an upward trend. You got to be biased to the trend direction, right? And then also in cycle analysis, you got a bottoming here with the healthcare sector as well as the stock itself, Clover Health. This is the end of the trough right here. And they simultaneously happen, which is kind of rare. So it's predicting it wants to roll over. Right? And that would suggest that this area right here, once it hits the top of this trough, let's unlock that so we get it out of the way. Oops, put that back. Not to unlock that, but to unlock this here. All right. So the way this is rolling over is suggesting it to go down in the future tense, right? How it's moving down right here, and this is kind of like moving down. I would say it would happen maybe after it hits the peak of this trough, which is somewhere right here, then it might have a fluctuation to the downside, which would be somewhere right here. That on timing wise, here would put us at the bottom of right there. It follows through the trend, which would be at $2.60, right? Before it moves down, then this trend would have to be extended wider. So there goes that for the daily, right? Let's see what we got over here. $12. See, it adjusts to the downside. It looks like it's coming to a finale though, because the overall trend is to the upside. So, but the hourly is still moving down. There's a lot of positivity coming in on the candlesticks over here. Still negative. Still negative. Matter of fact, it even turned a little bit more negative with this. It's money flow selling pressure. It turned positive. So let me try something here. Now, what I learned about this case scenario is that if the overall trend is up, you buy at the top. You're technically, you're buying in a premium. You're most likely your trade will turn against you before it goes with you. But this could be a losing trade, right? We'll see. It's got a plus arrow up and a four. It's kind of never mind. It was never confirmed. Candle has to close in order to be confirmed. So it could find resistance right here and go back to its downward trend, right? Tick tock all the way back down, and that would be a losing trade. They're moving up. Still positive over here. Like I said, still in the positive, positive, positive. Trend is still up. It might be just consolidating for the next move up. So I want to see this indicator here curve up and have this gap like this one did right here. When it curved down like this gap, that's very important. This gap right here, very important. It's turning positive right there. The histogram went up. Let's see what Bitcoin says. Yeah, Bitcoin says. Hmm. Bitcoin predicted a rollover big time, and it happened too. So I didn't show you guys that from the beginning. Oh, it's Mr. Kitty. It's Mr. Kitty K. See? Look, Mr. Kiki. He's a Mr. Kiki. Say, hello everybody, my name is Mr. Kiki, and I am a tuxedo cat, gray and white, with green eyes, and I love kitty treats. They're so delicious. So hairy too. All right, my maximum time to do this video is most likely an hour, but I want to cut it off now because getting the simulation going and stuff like that, it just, even with the minute chart, just takes a lot of time. You're going to need to put in like hours and hours. They say it takes 10,000 hours of doing something in order to master it. So I'm nowhere near that, but I'm working on it. I want to say let's go ahead and double down right there. I'm starting to see some positive feedback right here from these indicators. I don't like this. That's the reason why I drew that line there. It was negative to me. But Bitcoin just had a fucking giant hammer candlestick on the minute chart. All right, guys. I'm gonna finish this trade off. Probably do some trading for the next 3 to 5 hours if I feel like it. But yeah, so this is pretty much the way it works right here. Um, if we had more wild, moves, more fluctuations going on here, it would be a better learning experience time wise. But yeah, I'm gonna end the video here. Y'all have a nice day now.